multiple parts, but need just one answer?
Wait, huh?
Hi everyone, it's Pinay New Yorker. Tonight we're doing postcards. If you have any questions, you have any comments, would love to hear from you. If you can just drop a comment in the chat and I will return the favor. Biggest deal is I'm hoping to grow my Facebook community. I'm not really active there, but if you can follow, I'm also there as Pinay New Yorker. Okay. So I've been a postcard collector since I was a teen. So you will actually see my postcard profile on Post Crossing. I'm also part of a Philippine Post Crossing group. I am an avid collector of Philippine postcards from New York, both modern and vintage, Paris, large letter greetings from, and these have all been a passion since I was in my teens. So I've been collecting for over 40 years. However, on YouTube, I was monetized 3 years ago. I've been sort of tamad or lazy, so I'm trying to reignite the passion for YouTube. The music you're hearing in the background is original music that was composed for me by a friend. So that's the Pinay New Yorker original theme. In April, I started a project called A Postcard a Day, and I've been doing a postcard journal, sending a postcard to myself. So far, I'm on my third month. I'm hitting 91 onwards. On July 1st, I have postcard number 92. So I'm going to try and prep the next 20 to 30 postcards for the month of July. As you know, it's Independence Day, July 4th, so I tried to put in a good mix of freedom-related or Independence Day-related postcards. I also have a ton of postcards here, which are from the Philippines or about the Philippines, because as those of you who know me here on YouTube, Pinay is actually the slang for Filipina. So I am a Filipina. I've been in New York for over 20 years. And this is just one of the things I do to sort of get into my hobby. Some of the postcards here, for example, this one is by a famous Filipino illustrator and artist. Her name's Anina Rubio. This was from the movie Sakaling Hindi Makarating, just in case it doesn't get to its destination. And as you can see, it says there, artwork by Anina Rubio. Some of her murals can be seen in BGC, so she is one of our more famous Filipino artists. Some of these I got in maybe postcard shops, I don't remember anymore. Others were sent to me. This one I bought. This Moomin postcard I remember I bought in Hong Kong. Moomin is a character or a set of characters that's originally from Finland, but believe it or not, I got this in Hong Kong. So a lot of postcard collectors like collecting this. Let me just pause. Somebody texted, somebody important. Okay, son just said he's not coming home. He's going to sleep over at his dad's, which is fine. This one was sent to me from, I believe, Russia. This is a postcard of the Virgin of Manaoag that is actually a postcard of one of my personal photographs. So this was taken, I'd say, 4 years ago, and I produced the postcard the same year. This is a vintage map of New York, postcard of Central Park. Here's another local artist that I really, really admire. Her name's Louie Hicong, and she goes by the moniker Doodle ni Maria. So as you can see, it says there, Doodle ni Maria. She's a very talented self-taught artist, so really love that. This is one of the many postcards I've gotten from our visits to Lake George many years ago. I just decided, I wanted to send postcards to myself instead of just collecting them. These Americana, we call them Americana postcards, actually came from somebody who was trying to read out her collection. She had stopped collecting postcards and she wanted to find a home for these. And these were just gorgeous. So they're all Americana related. I think this one also came from her, or I might have bought this at one of the postcard shows of the New York Metropolitan Postcard Club, or is it Metropolitan Postcard Club of New York? Anyway, I thought I am a Statue of Liberty collector. This is one of the free cards I had gotten from my second trip to Paris I'd say 20 years ago. Yes. And I used to grab free cards wherever I could. This was from Chartres, which I visited because I went to St. Paul de Chartres. And of course, I grabbed them and I found them, another one of the Americana postcards. This is a newly discovered Filipina artist. Her name is Liza Gutierrez. She's very active on Instagram. I'll put the links to the artists that I mentioned here down below in the description later for those who might bump into this live stream. And being a map collector, I just realized I had two of these. These are chrome postcards from way back. So the size is not your regular. So this is the regular size, you can see. It's slightly smaller. It's called chrome because of the printing method and the size. So I will send myself one of those, another one of the Americana postcards. And this is by a well-known Filipino artist, millionaire, billionaire, entrepreneur, industrialist, all-around famous person, Fernando Zobel. So you can see it's one of his oil on wood paintings, which can be seen at the Ayala Museum. I bought this the last visit, which was just this March 2024. And this is another Filipino store I buy from, which is Pinspired. They have a Shopee shop. Shopee shop. They're on Shopee. And this is one of the fold-out art postcards I got from Korea during my last trip this March. So what happened was I purposely did a 12-hour layover from Korea on my way back from Manila because I wanted to explore Seoul. So Korea is one of the countries where, depending on where you're transiting to, will allow you to go around and leave the airport and do a tour. So I was able to do that. I did a 12-hour layover and I was just walking around trying to go to, is it Bukchang? I'm probably murdering the town. And I bumped into this hole-in-the-wall bookstore and they produced this beautiful postcards, and this is one of them. So this came from Yoon Moon Young, and it's part of the set called Simply Enchanting Korean Tradition with a Feminine Touch. There you go. Gorgeous. This one I think I bought from one of the bookstores that sells art postcards in New York. Another one of the Americana series. Here's another one. I can't remember how I got this, but I think it was sent to me by someone I had traded postcards in an envelope with from either China or Taiwan. But it's a nice postcard, and it would be a waste to just let it stay in the box This one I'm sure was from a collector who exchanged postcards with me. I've never been to Berlin, so I did not buy this. And it would be a waste to just let it wither in the box and turn yellow. So I thought I'd include it. Another one of the Americana postcards. And there you go. I used to not really decorate the backs of the postcards that I send, but lately, because of this special project I called a postcard a day, where I do a postcard journal and send the postcards to myself. I literally mail them, and then I have started collecting items, stickers, washi tape, different cutouts. I used to make all of that, but these days I've decided, I'm going to do what everybody does and try to compose good, nice backgrounds at the back of the postcards. I still leave a lot of space to write on. So let's begin. If you're watching, please do say hello so I see who's here. If nobody watches, then I mean to edit the video later. Okay. So for those of you who are subscribed to the channel, I haven't really been very active. I'm sure you've seen that. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. It hasn't been easy. So I've been doing just a lot of shorts. Not too many videos of late. I really haven't had the energy or the opportunity to take videos. I try to. I want to keep things interesting in the website, on the channel, and I no longer participate in the multiple lives. There are certain channels that do live streams to help other channels launch their videos. I don't want to do premieres because I usually don't have the time anymore to stay and participate in the live streams of others, and I find that's unfair if I do that. So, if you haven't seen me, it's because of that. I am just trying to find something nice. Ooh, this is a long one. So, yeah. So how did I start collecting postcards? I joined the International Youth Service when I was in high school, which was decades ago. And what happened was, a lot of the people who joined there would send postcards to the people in other countries so that they could see where they were. So for example, I used to send a lot of Philippine postcards, and I got a ton of postcards. So because of that, I started collecting. And the only thing was, at the start, I just collected anything and everything. So this is a set of washi stickers, supposed to be. So I just try to leave like maybe a portion for the stamp, and then enough to write. I write my address here, and it's not really a lot because It's a 3-line thing. So we're going to do it a little off center so the stamp can land here. Here's another one of the Americana. We call it Americana because it's about American culture. So it's very nice collage. It's on a flask, an ancient flask. So for this one, let me just see. I like doing, for example, Glasgow electric. Okay, let's see. So sometimes what I would do is I would cut this up, or for example, for this one, I don't mind putting it all in. Then I would put the stamp flush to the left. Okay, so no stickers there. And then sometimes either put a flower or